What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Reading Between the Lines. Today we're talking about Volume 5 of Life is Strange Comics. The final volume. Oh wait, no it's not. It's not the final volume. I thought it was, but it's not. Apparently there's gonna be another volume. So I got that on order. Sorry, this is like a week late, or 2 weeks late. Is it 2 weeks late? I can't remember. It's late. I just have been busy with other stuff, but anyway, doesn't matter. We're back. We're reviewing some Life is Strange. I got a brand new Life is Strange shirt here. Fucking awesome. Love that shit. Life is Strange Coming Home, which is a complete lie. Spoilers, by the way. Fucking complete lie right there. The only one who gets back to the other reality is Tristan, and he's now got the ability to jump between them or whatever. Like Max does a few flickers to the other reality and whatnot. She gets to see Chloe a couple times, but she's never like there. You know, by a title like Coming Home and this fucking cover, which is badass by the way. Here, there we go. Look at that fucking cover. That is a work of art right there. Especially for Life is Strange fans. Like that, you know what? Honestly, I might make that the background on my fucking phone. Cause that's pretty badass. I mean, right now it's Lumity, which is, you know, it's fitting because that's gonna end here in April, on April 9th or 8th or something. It's gonna be on Disney Plus on April 9th. Anyway, we're not talking about the Owl House. You know, Max and Chloe, the original great lesbian sapphic ship here. You know, I guess technically in the timeline it's Rachel and Chloe, but you know, it is what it is, and I do love them too. I just want Chloe to be happy, okay? In all timelines. So yeah, this issue starts off like they're going through like this cave or something. I don't remember exactly how it starts off, but there's a part where they're going through a cave and you know, oh shit. Okay. Well, I'm gonna talk about the cave part, and then I'll talk about this part. Chloe's being all, you know, the Chloe that's with the Max, alternate timeline Chloe, is being, like, really passive-aggressive, you know, as she does sometimes about this whole fucking, Max thing, and how she's, like, rewinding moments, like we were talking about in the last issue, and how she was skipping over them, so Rachel just, like, gets really pissed off, and she's just like, hey, you guys are fucking best friends. Figure it the fuck out. You know, we've got time down here in this cave. She might be leaving soon. You know, you gotta get this shit together. You gotta work on that. Like, fuck you guys. Figure it out. You know. So, she leaves them be, and they start talking. They make up. You know, basically. Max kind of apologizes about the whole time thing, and then Chloe's like, yeah, well, you were helping save lives and stuff, so they kind of understand each other's positions. That's nice. But Chloe did have kind of a legitimate point there. She is skipping over parts of people's lives, you know, and whatnot. Max is, so kind of weird. Interesting thought, though. But anyway, at the beginning of this issue, we start off where we started off in the last issue, where that girl, who I didn't remember her name, who now I know her name is Pixie, because they say it like 500 times. I think that's her, like her nickname, you know. I think her real name is like Sybil or something. It says it like at the beginning of the issue. Anyway, she actually has the power to see alternate timelines, and like look at them, and that's all she kind of can do. Like, you know, Tristan has the power to like disappear and then kind of jump between timelines, which he figures out and like utilizes more because of Pixie's power to like see the timelines. They also figure out that Chloe is like the lighthouse, they call her, like the catalyst to get between realities or whatever, the anchor point. So like Tristan was trying to focus on Max when he should have been focusing on Chloe, and of course that would make sense that Chloe is like that because she's the thing that branched off, like one of the biggest things that branched off. She's not supposed to be alive in the other timeline, but Max saved her, kind of thing. So yeah, so she's like a big, so she's a very big thing, you know, and that all kind of reflects the big decision that you make at the end of the first game there. So, all that being said, Pixie has this power to see between the timelines. So they figure out if they use Pixie's power to see between the timelines, they use Tristan's power to jump between the timelines, and then they use Max's power to rewind and stuff. They can kind of like figure out a trifecta solution to this problem. But they need to be in the same place at the same time. So some of the issue is reflected around that, I guess. It's just like, how do we know? How can we get in the same place at the same time? Kind of thing. Which they figure out they're both going to be at this event, and then they use Tristan to jump between the timelines to kind of line that up. You know, and then like the rest of it's just kind of them hanging out and stuff. There's a lot of stuff about like the play and whatnot, like the Hamlet and all that. They go to a psychic at one point, like, and she's talking about like the storm and stuff, and Chloe's like, oh, you're not just reading my past or whatever, etc, etc. This artwork, isn't that fucking cool? Victoria's in this issue a lot, this volume a lot. I really liked this scene when they're having the snowball fight. I thought that was really cool. It ends up being like kind of an alternate, like a flicker, like an alternate reality sort of thing. They end up realizing that, but it was a nice moment, you know. It was kind of like a thing. And then we actually learned that Max has honed her powers to fluctuate time around a single object. So first it was like a snowball, then it was like coffee cups and stuff. So I don't know how that's really gonna play into things, but you know, so that's kind of cool. She has a new piece to her powers, you know? Interesting. I like this too. Rachel and Chloe kind of go off to do their own thing at this carnival or whatever, and then they like get back and they're like, Max and Pixie are wondering how they didn't get woken up by them, and she's like, they slept outside, and they're like, we wanted to see the stars. And then they're like, did you? And she's like, I don't know, I fell asleep too far in advance. Apparently Tristan is not gonna end up with any of the females. Maybe. I mean, maybe he's bi, but he's also gay for this other guy. Like, I think it was... I don't remember which character it is, but it's one of the guys in the play. So, that's interesting. That's the thing that happened. Let's see. What else? Right, so they're all trying to coordinate these events around this concert, or not this a concert, the play. So they're both going to be at the play, but then, well, we'll talk about that in a second. So, but earlier in the comic, you actually see a text to Pixie from somebody named Steph, and I'm like, wait, is that the Steph from Before the Storm? Like, clearly they're making a reference to that, right? And then, like, later on, here she is. She shows up. It's Steph from Before the Storm and True Colors, I guess. You know, I don't really know about that yet, but I know she's in that game. So, so that was cool. Like, another little Life is Strange Before the Storm thing there. There's actually a part in here where she's, like, referencing... Oh, it's on this page. And she's like, oh, at least it's not the Tempest or whatever. So it's like... I don't feel like there was much, like, Before the Storm representation outside of, like, Chloe and Rachel's connection and all of that, but that was definitely a reference to that, so I thought that was cool. You know, and I love Before the Storm. It just seems to be underrepresented here, as well as Life is Strange 2, which didn't really get much outside of Brody and whatnot here. I'm hoping that the next issue will connect it back with the whole David thing. I think that'd be really cool. So anyway, but then they start worrying, Max particularly starts worrying because the storm is coming in and the play is the next day, but the storm is potentially preventing this play from happening, which they need to happen to know that they're all going to be there at the same time so that Max can jump back or whatever. and then she like starts saying, "Oh, not again! This isn't happening again." And then Pixie's like, "Well, it all started with a storm. Maybe it'll end with a storm, kind of thing." And then the like last chapter or issue or whatever, Max is like, before that, she's like kind of like, "I'm ready. Last time I let the storm win, but this time I'm gonna beat the storm. I'm gonna win." Basically. Then though, in the last issue, it's actually Steph and Pixie just like recapping what's happened this whole time with like pictures of that. But she's doing it in like a D&D thing like she did in Before the Storm. So that was kind of another cool callback to Before the Storm. So she's basically recapping the events, but like metaphorizing them, or like she's basically doing like a parallel like fantasy version of it from like like in a D&D fashion, which I thought was pretty cool. So, and then that was when I realized, hey, this isn't the last issue or comic, or this isn't the last volume, and I'm an idiot. And there's actually one more. This one was called Coming Home, which was almost a lie. It is pretty much a lie. They should have called the last one that. I thought so. Yeah, see, I must have known about the last issue. I don't know why I kept saying this one was the last one. But, like, I thought, okay, Coming Home, so she'll get back, and then Settling Dust will be about her, just like the epilogue, basically. But that's not what's gonna happen. The last one's gonna be, like, the real, like, episode 5 moment from, like, the original game and all of that. Maybe we'll even get some kind of nightmare sequence in the in-between world there, or whatnot. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for the next issue. I like this one. I think we're getting back on track more. It didn't feel quite as much as like a filler issue. They were explaining a lot more stuff, and it kind of felt like it all meant something more so. So I like that. I like the direction we're taking here. I don't want it to be over, but I also do want it to be over. Just so I can, be like, hey, I finished this finally, Every time I keep thinking that I'm almost done with it, it's like, there's more coming, which is like very much a metaphor or like a parallel to my experiences with Dragon Quest VII, which I've been playing recently. Right now, it's like, it just doesn't end, so, but we'll talk about that some other time. We'll talk about Volume 6 next time I do this series. So yeah, just never forget that it doesn't hurt to read between the lines. I'll see you guys in the next one.